So for this presentation, for interpersonal relations, we're going to talk about intimate relationships and how they form the fabric of society. So we consider our relationships to be very private, only between you and your partner, but that's not always the case. Relationships can affect other people besides just you and your partner. Our actions have effects on other people besides us, and it can also in turn affect the rest of society as a whole. So next we're going to talk about examples of this. Examples of how our relationships can affect other people besides just the two people in the relationship. I have 3 examples. So one is a child's parents are getting into fights at home and he cannot sleep. When he goes to school, he can't focus on work or learn properly because of his lack of sleep. So the parents are fighting. Their relationship is not going well. But the fighting doesn't just affect the two people in the relationship, the two people fighting. It also affects the child and his schoolwork, and in turn affecting his schoolwork, it can affect his focus, how he does in school, which also affects his teacher and his peers. The next example is your roommate Sarah is fighting with her boyfriend while you're trying to do homework and you can't focus. So clearly their fighting isn't just affecting them, it's affecting your schoolwork and your focus. And the next one is more of a happy example. It's from the book because I couldn't really think of a super positive example, but a happy couple lives longer and is less of a burden on the healthcare system. So when you're happier in your relationships, it's shown that you're healthier and less stress, and therefore you're not contributing or being a burden on the healthcare system. Next, we have the social control theory. This explains the association between intimate relationships and the social or societal impact of individuals' actions in the relationship. So relationships affect how individuals behave. Based on the text, people with fewer, weaker, and poorer relationships are more likely to engage in deviant behavior. So when your relationship isn't going well, or you're having problems, or you're lonely, you're more likely to be deviant in society and break more rules. And that's in part because relationships encourage people to conform to societal norms. So an example of this is alcohol and drug use is associated with changes in relationships. So changes in relationships and relationship status. So when people are having problems or relationships aren't going well, people are more likely to use alcohol and drugs to cope based on the quality of their relationship. A main example is cocaine use, and on the next slide there's going to be a graph to show from the book. So on this slide, it shows a graph from the textbook that shows cocaine use based on relationship status. And as you can see on the graph, mainly cocaine use is associated with being single or divorced. So usually single people are using more cocaine use, and when they get married, their cocaine use drastically declines. And then there's a little bit of an incline from married to divorce in cocaine use going up. So when individuals are single, cocaine use is significantly higher. In this video, you could see that Nancy and Steve were having relationship problems, and because of the relationship problems that they were having, Nancy decides to throw a party with underage drinking and is clearly intoxicated. This can have a larger, well, this is an example of social control theory and how relationships can encourage, well, the quality of relationship can encourage deviant behavior when single. And so this can also have a higher effect, though, not just on her, but they can get in trouble. Everybody at the party can get in trouble. She can break something in her house, and her parents will be mad at her. There are a list of other outside effects that could happen. Something could happen to the house because she's intoxicated. Maybe she could light a candle, and the candle could get knocked over, and it could burn the house down, and it's just clearly can affect things much bigger than just her and Steve.
No.
Get off!
No, you've had enough, okay?
Screw you!
Nance, I'm serious. Hey, stop. No, I'm serious. Put it down.
No!
Nance, put it down.
Steve, stop!
Stop.
What the hell?
Nance.
So conclusions from this topic are that healthy, intimate relationships can affect society positively by encouraging conformity to social norms and discouraging crime. Relationships are an important part of our lives and society and have a large effect on us and those around us. In part, just relationships are bigger than just you and your partner. It affects society as a whole in the grand scheme of things. It's almost like a domino effect. Something can happen to you and your relationship